Hi Aquarius, welcome to your annual 2023-24 astrology horoscope forecast. I'm Anisha. Welcome on my channel. I talk everything about astrology and tarot. Starting the year with two planets that are retrograde. We have Mars, which is retrograde in your love, romance, creativity and children house. And then we have Mercury, which is also retrograde in your house of behind the scenes. And this is the house of spirituality, and it is resonating over there with the mic. So we're starting the year on quite a quiet note, Aquarians, and this is quite a powerful, in any case, year for you, because we have the most talked about transit Pluto that is going to be moving into your own sign. And it is going to be there for the next 20 years. Pluto has been there in Capricorn, and this is going to be quite a, I would say, a new start of quite an epic phase of your life. Going back to the retrogrades, for a lot of you, this speaks about maybe some issues with Mars being retrograde in your house of children and creativity, that you could be experiencing some trouble with your children. Maybe it's a time to be seeking professional help, or you need to be counseling your children on your own. This is also a time where you could find your creative juices be quite saturated. You could be feeling quite spent as far as your own inspiration or your own motivation is there. Mercury being retrograde, a lot of you could be looking at your own psychological patterns. You could be looking at your own family history, your family root, and trying to see as to, or even make sense about, your own life patterns. Not a good time to be buying heavy ticket items, not a good time to be buying electronics, especially with Mercury being retrograde. It is, however, a good time to be re-looking at things. It's a good time to be revising. It's a good time to be researching. It is anything that you need to be going back upon and redoing it. It's a good time to be doing that. Try and be extremely careful about picking up a new project. Try and be extremely careful about signing any contract as well during this time. On March the 8th, we have Saturn that is changing signs. It is resonating with Neptune, which is there in Pisces, and it is moving into your house of earned income. So some amount of introspection Saturn brings along with it. It's a teacher planet. It's a planet that wants you to learn, and it's going to be there for the next 3 years. And this stage, because it is there in your house of your earned income, your career, it is often marked by hard work. It's a practical time in one's life. So you may experience that, if you have been growing at quite a speed till now, career-wise, you may find that, it's not that easy. Now the growth is not, your career growth is not as smooth or as quick as it used to be. Maybe earlier, if you worked for, put in an effort, maybe for half a day, and you could reap the results more quickly. But now you'll find, that you are having to, everything has become slowed down. Progress is slower. You're having to work more harder on similar kind of projects, and yet it takes a lot of time for you. Will find that financial success is not as remarkable as it used to be, but it is generally steady, but it will not, be as fast or as quick as it used to be earlier. It could be quite slow. This transit is traditionally, it used to be associated with financial loss, but it is really not so. In truth, it is more about our own perceptions, how it is that we, are effective with our own finances up to date. And we could, in certain cases, feel quite dissatisfied with the progress that we are making. But also, I think the good thing with this transit is that when you make money, even if it's a slow way, steady way to do it, there is very less chance of the money being reversed, or, that you sort of like a Uranian energy, it'll come quickly, it'll go quickly. But with the Saturnian transit, it'll come slowly. You'll have to work really hard, but it'll stay. So the purpose of this transit for you, Aquarians, is to make the connection between your own feelings of self-worth and what is it that you produce in the real world, and how it is also that you give it back, and how it is that you share your financial wealth. This is also a time, because this is the house of self-worth, that you could be trying to get or gain external validation from the outside world, something, and from the others, and find that something is lacking in doing so. The initial sense of feeling quite unsupported, you could be quite disappointed, you could feel quite alone at workplace, you could feel that, you're not being recognized for your work, there are no accolades that are coming, there's no validation that is being given. There could just be a sense of, you could be quite disappointed, discouraged, or unmotivated. But this is also Saturn's way of teaching you that you need to be plodding ahead on your own without looking at these external factors over you. And as the Saturn transit keeps moving along, after it does about a year and a half, you will be able to understand and look at your own self with a newfound clarity on your own inner wisdom, your own inner sense, your own inner strength, and you will be able to draw up considerable strength from there itself. How it is that you deal effectively with the external outside world where your work is concerned, and what is it that is really holding you back from achieving achieving the kind of results that you want. The entire Saturnian challenge is going to be around that. By the time the transit gets over after 3 years, you would have discovered a newfound confidence, and which you will be able to apply to the real world. Now, March 23rd, that's the topic of the decade, is Pluto is moving signs into your own house, into your own sign, Aquarius. And this is a time wherein that you in any case are a collective energy. There's very little of I that is there in Aquarius. You stand for all the humanitarian causes. You are all for collective energy. And if Pluto is crossing your ascendant during this time, you should make a fearless effort to liberate yourself from any traditional thought patterns, and try and become an example for others. With the Pluto transit also in your own house and your own sign, Aquarians, you could have this sense or the need to want to control others or everything around you, which could make relationships very, very difficult. So what you must try and, learn to control is yourself. So make an effort to see yourself positively, as you have a unique opportunity to discover a very new and powerful you. You need to be recognizing your own strengths as well. And the difficulty, I think the only I see is that if you're already in a very senior position, if you're somebody who's accomplished a lot, you could become, there are chances of you becoming quite a power maniac. You could be quite obsessive about power and needing to control your environment, people around you, and also your personal relationships. So they can also be a huge change in your own image on how it is that you want people to see you, or how it is that you want to be seen by the world, and also by how it is that you're expressing. You could be more forceful, you could be more aggressive than usual. I'm doing a series of Pluto on my Instagram feed. You could have a look at it if that interests you. I go by the same handle, Tarot by Anisha. I will also be doing a series of Pluto transit by the houses, and once I'm done with the annual videos, you can watch out for that as well. On June 7th, briefly, Pluto is going to be rolling back into your house of behind the scenes. Again, it will give you a sense of your ancestry, your roots, where it is that you come from, your family skeletons. All of that could get affected during this time. And after that, Pluto is going to be moving into your own house, and it's going to be there for 20 years. Pluto, the lessons that it will teach you, I think the best way to be working with the Plutonian or any powerful planetary energy is to work along with it rather than resist it. So if you feel that there is some kind of a therapy, some counseling work that is required, if you already have an obsessive personality, then I think counseling and therapy is something which will work wonders for you, and that is something that you must consider seriously. April the 20th, we have a solar eclipse which is there in your house of communication, and it is resonating with Jupiter. So it could be that there's some new negotiations that get started. Maybe some of you are starting a new chapter. Maybe you're writing a book. For some of you, it talks about, maybe that your travel, your short distance travel, that gets increased. Maybe you're more involved in the community at large. May the 5th, we have a lunar eclipse, which is there in your joint finances, and this is something which impacts your partner's income. It can be that your partner's income is coming to an end, something is finishing. It can also be that that there are maybe power struggles that are there in the relationship that you need to be addressing as of now, and they could just be making you more hyper and more emotional. May the 17th, we have Jupiter that is resonating with Uranus on your house of home, and it will stay there. So there can be something unusual that's happening around mid-May as far as your home is concerned. Maybe some of you are changing homes. Maybe some of you are, there's some unusual activity around there. Maybe you're going and living in a very strange place which you didn't think about at all. Maybe there is some, the problems at home during this time, they just get expanded, and that sort of comes to fore, and that's taking your entire energy. On October 14th, we have a solar eclipse, which is there in your long distance travel, and this is again the house of expanding your mind and also your spiritual learning. So a lot of you could be going outside to study. Some of you could be taking traveling to learn more. You could be dealing with people from different countries, different cultures, ethnicities. And October 28th, we have a lunar eclipse, which is there in your house of home. So something is coming to an end at home for sure. Either you're finishing moving homes or cities, or a certain issue is coming to an end. Maybe in certain cases you are, either maybe moving to your parents' house, or maybe your parents are selling the house and you're helping them, or it has to do, some energy around your mother as well. The interesting thing is that all the retrogrades, the Mercury retrogrades this year are in the Earth sign, and it's very earthy, practical energy that is there. So we have retrogrades in April, May, August, September, and December, January 2024. So it's you're an Aries sign, Aquarius, and with Saturn and Pluto, which is like the huge big deal for you this year. It can be that there are too many balls that you're juggling in the air, but this is also a year of implementation. It's not a year of debating, arguing, procrastinating, or just, I would say, not making excuses really, but it's really a year for looking at things the way that they are and doing something about it. It's not a year to be in regret. It's a year where you need to be putting your ideas, giving them some feet, giving your dreams some feet on the ground. Lovely speaking with you, Aquarians. I wish you a fabulous 2023, and thank you so much for watching.